all the good days in the year, upon a Christmas Eve, old Scrooge sat busy in his counting house. It was cold, bleak, biting, foggy weather, and the city clocks had only just gone 3, but it was quite dark already.
A Merry Christmas, Uncle, and God save you,
cried a cheerful voice. It was the voice of Scrooge's nephew, who came upon him so quickly that this was the first intimation Scrooge had of his approach.
Bah, humbug!
Christmas a humbug, Uncle? You don't mean that, I'm sure.
I do. Out upon Merry Christmas. What's Christmas time to you but a time for paying bills without money? A time for finding yourself a year older and not an hour richer. If I had my will, every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled in his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through his heart. He should. Uncle, nephew, keep Christmas in your own way, and let me keep it in mine.
Keep it, but you don't keep it. At this festive season of the year, we should make some slight provision for the poor and destitute, who suffer greatly. Many thousands are in want of common necessaries. Hundreds of thousands are in want of common comforts.
Are there no prisons?
Plenty of prisons, but they scarcely furnish Christian cheer of mind or body to the unoffending multitudes. Some of us are endeavoring to raise a fund to help the poor, to buy them some meat and drink and means of warmth. We choose this time because it is a time of all others when want is keenly felt and abundance rejoices.
I don't make merry myself at Christmas, and I can't afford to make idle people merry. I help to support the prisons and the workhouses. They cost enough. And those who are badly off must go there.
Many can't go there, and many would rather die.
If they would rather die, they had better do it, and decrease the surplus population. Christmas. Much good may it do you. Much good it has ever done you.
There are many things from which I might have derived good, but which I have not profited. I dare say Christmas among the rest, but I am sure I have always thought of Christmas time as a good time. And therefore, Uncle, though it has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe it has done me good, and it will do me good, and I say God bless it.
You'll want all day tomorrow, I suppose?
It's quite convenient, sir.
It is not convenient, and it's not fair. If I was to stop half a crown for it, you'd think yourself mightily ill-used, and yet you don't think me ill-used when I pay a day's wages for no work. Poor excuse for picking a man's pocket every 25th of December. But I suppose you must have the whole day. Be here all the earlier next morning.
Don't be angry, Uncle. Come, dine with us.
Good afternoon.
But why? I want nothing from you. I ask nothing of you. Why cannot we be friends?
Good afternoon.
I am sorry with all of my heart to find you so resolute. We have never had any quarrel to which I have been a party. But I have made the trial in homage to Christmas, and I'll keep my Christmas humor to the last, so a Merry Christmas, Uncle.
Good afternoon.
And a Happy New Year.
Good afternoon!
Bob Cratchit arrived home from work to find his beloved wife and family in the kitchen, preparing dinner and awaiting his arrival. Upon his entrance, there was much rejoicing and excitement, for it was Christmas Eve, and the family was finally together. Already knowing the answer to her question, Mrs. Cratchit asked, "How did little Tim behave this past Sunday?"
As good as gold, and better.
Stooping down and smiling at Tim, who was sitting near the hearth.
He gets thoughtful sitting by himself so much, and thinks the strangest things you have ever heard. He told me coming home that he hoped the people saw him in church because he was a cripple, and it might be pleasant to them to remember upon Christmas Day who made the lame to walk and the blind to see.
Then all the Cratchit family drew round the hearth in a circle.
A Merry Christmas to us all, my dears. God bless us.
Which all the family re-echoed. God bless us, everyone, said Tiny Tim, the last of all. He sat very close to his father's side, upon his little stool. Bob held his withered little hand in his, as if he loved the child and wished to keep him by his side, and dreaded that he might be taken from him.
And God bless Mr. Scrooge, the founder of the feast.
The founder of the feast, indeed. I wish I had him here. I'd give him a piece of mine to feast upon, and I hoped he'd have a good appetite for it.
My dear the children, Christmas.
It should be Christmas, I'm sure. A day on which one drinks the health of such an odious, stingy, hard, unfeeling man as Mr. Scrooge. You know he is, Robert. Nobody knows it better than you do, poor fellow.
My dear, Christmas.
I'll drink to his health for your sake and the Dicks, but not for his. Long life to him, a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. He'll be very merry and very happy, I have no doubt.
He said that Christmas was a humbug, as I live, and he believed it too.
Poor shame for him.
He's a comical old fellow, that's the truth, and not so pleasant as he might be. However, his offenses carry their own punishment, and I have nothing to say against him. Who suffers by his ill wills? Himself, always. Here he takes into his head to dislike us, and he won't come and dine with us. What's the consequence? It is he who misses out on such a delicious feast. I pray that the time comes when one year he will join us around this table and experience the true meaning of Christmas with those of us who, despite his faults, love him. A reading from the Gospel